Hey Parish family, Father Grismer here. We just finished another segment of Coffee Chats with Father G, in which we dug into John 11, which is the raising of Lazarus from the dead. And with this amazing story, because it's revealing God, who he is, and what he can do, right? And so what happens is Jesus gets word. He's not by Lazarus. He gets word that his friend Lazarus is sick. So what happens? It says, he loves Martha and Mary and Lazarus, so he stays another 2 days where he was at, right? Like, it's almost absurd that Jesus waits for his friend Lazarus to die. But he says that it's so that the glory of God could be revealed. And what is that? It's the resurrection and the power of Jesus Christ, right? That neither, in Romans 8, that neither death nor life nor angels nor principalities nor anything else can prevent us from the love of God. And so here is the story of Jesus revealing that in this beautiful moment where Martha runs up to Jesus and says, Lord, if you'd been here, my brother wouldn't have died. What does that tell us? It tells us that she knows the power of Jesus, that he is a healer. But see, here's the thing. The Lord wants to expand our understanding of who he is. We can know Christ in a certain way, as Martha understood him as healer, but she didn't know him as the Lord of life. She didn't know him as the resurrection and the life. And so this is what the Lord wants to do. He wants to expand our definition, if you would, or our understanding of who he is, so that our prayer changes, our understanding of him changes, so that we encounter him and live with him in a different way. And so here's Martha. She runs up and says, Lord, if you'd been here, my brother wouldn't have died. Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. And then Mary comes up too. Now, Jesus waits in the same spot for Mary to come. What does it tell us? He cares about us. He's on a mission to raise Lazarus from the dead, but he's not in such a hurry that he bypasses the emotions of those that he loves. He deeply cares about that. So here's Martha and Mary running up and saying, Lord, if you'd been here, my brother wouldn't have died. So obviously there was a previous conversation that says, they had talked about this and said, Lord, if Jesus had been here, our brother wouldn't have died. But here's the beautiful thing, is that the Lord then weeps. He weeps with them. Have you ever let the Lord weep with you in your pain, in your sorrow? Because this is where the rawness of our emotion plays into our prayer, is that when we let Christ weep and be sorrowful with us when we're sorrowful, to be joyful with us when we're joyful. So then Jesus says, take me to where they've laid him, and roll away the stone. And they get confused. They're like, but there's a stench. It's been 4 days, right? Because often we want our prayer with Jesus. Jesus, would you just pray with us and make us feel better about ourselves? But here's the thing. The Lord doesn't want to just make us feel better. He wants to give us life. And so what does he say? Take away the stone. And then he says, Lazarus, come out. Sometimes in our life, we're afraid to go into those memories that are really painful, right? Because we've been hurt, abused, we've been broken, we've lived with lies that have told us that we're not good enough, that nobody's going to love us, all of those things that we can hear. The Lord wants to enter into that and to heal it. And he does that by way of our memory and our imagination. That we can go back into the memory and ask him to invite him into that memory, so that he can heal and restore the death that we've been living in. So what does he do? He says, take away the stone. They take it away, and then he says, Lazarus, come out. And the word of the man, the word of the Creator, raises to life the man who is living in death. And could you imagine the Psalm 23, that though I walk in the valley of darkness, I will fear no evil, because I know you are with me. The Lord shows us in this passage who he is. He is life. He is the Lord of life, and he has all power over death. I encourage you to watch the entire video and just to come to a deeper understanding of who Jesus is for you, for me, but who he is as God. We'll see you in the next Coffee Chats with Father G. God bless you.